The battle is actually in your head. What's in your head is weakness and laziness, and they're not attacking, they're sneaking around. They're poisoning the strength in your brain.
If you just decide, I'm going to keep my word. If I say something, I'm going to do it regardless. Being more disciplined. Find something that you can look at your life that you say, hey, I know I've got a problem in this area, being late, procrastinating, not taking care of business, being seriously not serious. I need to deal with that.
The system we live in and contribute to is designed to make the easiest things in life the most unprofitable. Our world is and always will be a constant battle between the life of ease and its momentary rewards and a life of discipline. Each has its own price. We will pay one or the other.
At the end of your feelings is nothing, but at the end of every principle is a promise. Behind your little feelings, it might not be absolutely nothing at the end of your little feelings, but behind every principle is a promise. And some of you in your life, the reason why you're not at your goal right now, because you just all about your feelings. You all on your feelings. You don't feel like waking up. So who does? Every day you say no to your dreams, you might be pushing your dreams back a whole 6 months, a whole year. That one single day, that one day you didn't get up could have pushed your stuff back I don't know how long.
Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds.
Do you have a mind to change? Do you have the mindset to be blessed? You have to decide to be blessed.
What has your name on it will not go to anyone else. What belongs to you will not go to another person.
The next time that you're feeling weak or you're feeling lazy or you're feeling emotional, tell them you are declaring martial law on your mind and impose what you want on your brain and use that mind control to move your life where you want it to be.
People around you change. And you can't, sometimes it's for the better, but sometimes it's not. And it's not bad. It's just that season was over in my life. And so here's the thing. If we try to keep hanging on to something when God is finished with it, there's no point in continuing to try to hang on to something that God's done with, because all it's going to do is keep you from the next great thing that God has for you. I feel real strongly tonight to tell you guys, spring is right around the corner. Don't give up and don't be afraid of change, and don't keep trying to hang on to something that's just not working anymore. Trust God for something better.
And when you're absolutely certain that if I do this, it's going to get that result, and that result's going to change my life, you'll do it. When you think it absolutely is not going to work, you're never going to do it. The middle no man's land of maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, that's the piece that kills people. If it's a must for you, you got to make it work.
Open people like to live on the periphery of boundaries, and they like to break boundaries between things because interesting things happen when you think a different way, when you think outside of the box, so to speak. That's what open people do. They always think outside of the box, no matter what box you put them in. You know, and sometimes you meet people that are so open that they're completely disorganized. Their thought process is almost completely associational, like a dreamer. They just jump from one thing to another, and they're very interesting to talk to. It's very hard for those people to get their lives together because they're interested in absolutely everything and their attention just flits all over the place.
I'm asking you to have some faith, have some courage, believe, drive your doubts into a small corner. Don't let them loose like a mad dog, drive you into a small corner. Don't doubt the future, don't doubt the possibilities, and here's the most important one of all. Don't doubt yourself. If I've got miracle working power to change my life, so do you. If I can grow, you can grow. I'm asking you, don't sell yourself short.
We got to go backwards to get better. We got to go all the way back to get better. I have to be comfortable in my life to accept that sometimes loss is the way to gain. To know that sometimes the most painful moments are the most purposeful moments. I have to be comfortable in my life to stop comparing myself so much with people who are not meant to be the standard anyway.
Now, I don't know what you're facing today, but I know this, everybody in this room is facing something.
if it ain't nothing but life? If you don't have nothing to fight but life, if everybody likes you and you're just as beautiful as you can be and as healthy as an Olympian, if you deal with nothing but life, life will try you to the breaking point.
You have to decide that you're going to be in control and that you are going to do what you want to do. You are the machine and you can control the machine. Weakness doesn't get a vote. Sadness, no vote. Frustration, no vote. I don't even give my temper a vote.
If we have any lack, it is not because we lack money or opportunity or resources. It is because we lack ideas that have taken form from information. If you search, you will find. So that is the way to discover ideas and life-changing information. Search. In order to find, you must search. You must go and engage in conversations with people of substance. You must go looking, go searching. Rarely does a good idea interrupt you. And as you make a diligent search, you will find just the ideas you need.
But I wonder, have you taken the time to think about, why am I doing this in the first place? Am I trying to prove something to someone who disrespected me 10 years ago, who isn't even paying attention to my life anymore? Why am I posting this? To impress people who follow me on social media that don't even really know me? What is my reason for doing what I'm doing?
On the outside, people don't look broken. You don't see bruises and you don't see scratches and you don't see scrapes, and people don't walk around in a big cast, and so you can't tell with the naked eye. The problem is that there's a malfunction on the inside. So many times, depression, what it feels like is this, that I'm so afraid to share what's going on the inside because I'm afraid it might destroy you. So what I do is I bury it on the inside of myself, only to destroy myself.
Motivation gets you going. Discipline, commitment, strong habits is what gets things done. Commit once. You don't need to commit more than once. You commit once to the thing that you're going to do, and then you do it every single day. That everyday method is one of the most powerful methods for reconstructing your entire life.
You just go, and procrastination dies. So don't wonder how you overcome procrastination. It's easy. All you do to overcome procrastination is go.
We all have these tough moments in life. They can make you or they can break you. Come on now. Come on, bring it. Come on now. I had to replace fearfulness with being fearless and take the initiative to do something else with my life.
You are putting things off because in the short term, it's easier, it's more comfortable, it's more pleasurable to be distracted or to indulge yourself doing something else than it is to sit down and do the actual work to create the outputs that matter when they are needed.
And when you need motivation yourself, don't look for someone to scream and yell. Don't look for someone else to give you motivation. Look at yourself and remind yourself why you are doing what you are doing. Remind yourself that this struggle, this temporary pain, this fight that you're in, this is what will make you stronger and faster and smarter and better.
We find ourselves announcing our standards to our relatives, our friends, our associates. We shout our beliefs and condemn those who believe any differently, but then we don't walk the talk. Do as I say, not as I do. This is inconsistent. This leads to a loss of credibility among those who watch us.
The human mind isn't used merely because we take it for granted. Familiarity breeds contempt. It can do any kind of job we assign to it, but generally speaking, we use it for little jobs instead of big important ones. Decide now, what is it you want? Plant your goal in your mind. It's the most important decision you'll ever make in your entire life.
You just can't turn on passion. You can't just turn on the desire to execute a task. It just doesn't work that way. And honestly, that isn't even what motivate means. To motivate actually means to provide a motive, a reason why.
We've got a chance to grow like never before, but I'm telling you, there's going to be many enemies that's going to try to prevent us. Whatever threatens you, I'm asking you to threaten it back. Take care of your responsibility. Somebody wants to destroy your chances for a good future by their negative talk, negative thinking, putting it all down, I'm telling you, walk away if you have to. Walk away. Whatever threatens you, threaten it back. Whatever threatens your opportunity, threaten it back. Now, some of our enemies are on the outside, but here's the most important thing to understand. Some of our enemies are on the inside. You got to do battle with your own indifference. And you've got to learn not only to nourish your values, you've got to learn to do battle with your enemies.
You can have what other people can't have. You can go where other people can't go. You can ask what other people can't ask for because you are not a whosoever. Quit acting like a whosoever. Quit asking like a whosoever. Quit asking like you don't have a right to go in boldly and ask. You are a chosen generation. You are a peculiar people. Say, I'm not a whosoever.
You have to learn how to shut your mind against strifeful thoughts. And as soon as they come, you need to say, this is going nowhere. I've been there, done that, and I'm going to change my mind, get in agreement with God, and let God take care of the situation.
Our problems do not overshadow our purpose. Our weaknesses do not discount our work, and our deficiencies definitely do not delay our destiny. We have to learn how to work our weakness. You gotta work your weakness because all of us to some degree have a thorn in our flesh. We all have gaps, we all have deficiencies, we've all made mistakes, we've all got these things that feel like a thorn in our flesh.
You know what? Some of us are so used to bad that we reject better when it comes.
Sometimes God proves His love to us by what He's not letting us have. Doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. We just have to spend more time in the weight room, growing, developing, learning to forgive, learning to keep a good attitude when things aren't going our way. The sooner we pass these tests, the sooner God will release what belongs to us.
No matter what comes against us, we will make it through. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. That doesn't mean there's going to be no pain involved. But truly, we can do all things. Yes, you can make it through whatever you're going through right now. You can get so strong in spirit that you can be going through really, really difficult things. And while you are, you're still reaching out and helping other people, and they don't even know what you're going through.
I'm not in this by myself. I'm not in this thing by myself. You are not alone in the battle. You're not alone in the struggle. That God has a strategy. And when it's all over, you're going to see that even though you couldn't see Him, He was there all the time.
People can change their standard by getting around where it's better. People can change their standard by getting associated with what's true, like the bills they got to solve, the problems they got to do it. Or they can do it because they're excited, because there's something new they want to take on. Everyone's different, but they got to find the why, and they got to come up with some daily rituals to get them going, and just do a step at a time. That's where you get momentum.
Jim Rohn's view of the 21st century. Here's number one: unprecedented opportunity. Unprecedented opportunity. We've now got the technology. We pick up a telephone now and talk to somebody on the other side of the world. I get on an airplane in Los Angeles, and 13 hours later, I'm in Tokyo. Right? So this is going to be a time of unprecedented opportunity. In every field you can imagine, it's going to be the greatest period of opportunity time in the history of the human race, the 21st century. So that's number one, unprecedented opportunity. Now here's the second note to take. Now also keen competition. And it's not just competition across the street and company to company and, division to division. Now it's worldwide competition. So now you've got to be ready to cash in on the opportunity, but you've also got to be ready for the competition. Here's some of my best advice. Number one, you've got to have more than one skill. If you want economic safety for the future, My personal opinion, you need more than one skill. In fact, it led me to my first fortune, and that was learning more than one skill. I knew how to milk cows, but it didn't pay very well. Then someone gave me this incredible advice. If you want to lay the foundation for a future fortune, you've got to learn more than one skill. Here's the first one, and I started part-time, a little sales job that I got. From milking cows, now I've got this ability now to start getting customers and make some money in this extra skill. So now I've got two skills. Next was finding good people. And when I learned this skill, I couldn't believe how it drastically changed my income. So now I've got what? 3 skills: milking cows, getting customers, finding good people. Here's the next one that paid me big money, and that's organizing. Organizing simply means getting people to work together. Here's the next one that really increased my income substantially, and that's promotion and recognition. Rewarding people for small steps of progress. Be so busy giving other people recognition, you really don't need it for yourself. Let me just give you one more, and that's communication. Of all the things not to be lazy about, it's language, because words can work miracles. Here was the next one, teaching. Teaching people how life works. Teaching people how to set goals. Stepping up to the higher opportunity and better challenge. But this one paid the best. Learning to inspire. Helping people to see themselves better than they are. So, economic safety for the future. Learn more than one skill. Here's number 2. It would be good to learn more than one language. Those extra languages are so valuable. When I travel the world, I got to find somebody that knows more than one language, or I'm in deep trouble. Make this note. Give it as a gift to your children. I asked a school teacher one time, how many languages can a child learn? Here's what she said. As many as you will teach them. So you got my good advice now? More than one skill, more than one language. Here's the rest. Learn the simple economic formula, and I can give it to you in just a couple of sentences. Here's the language for your notes. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. Now, the value we bring is one part of it, a product or a service, but here's the other part, the value you become. Like an entrepreneur, a leader. What you become also pays much more than what you bring. Go to work on yourself harder than you work on your job. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you could make a fortune. Success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person. So, now what else would help you to be attractive to the marketplace besides more than one skill and more than one languages? 5 simple, basic fundamentals that will increase your value to the marketplace. You don't have to work on the economy, because here's the first note. Each person's income is determined primarily by their philosophy, not by the economy. You only have to go to work on yourself. So now here's 5 things I want to share with you. And the first one is your personal philosophy. Your personal philosophy is like a guidance system that helps you make decisions what to do, what not to do. Maybe your philosophy would have been 5 years ago never to attend seminars like this. You just didn't go. Now 5 years later, here you are. Because it doesn't take but a few ideas to make a great difference in your income, social life, and all the rest. The more we learn, the more we know, the better we're able to make better decisions. Your philosophical guidance system does 2 things. For your notes, number 1, helps you to see the dangers on one side. But here's what else your guidance system does. Helps you to see the opportunities on the other side. And here's what that's called. The game of life is to minimize the dangers and maximize the opportunities. That's really the game of life. I couldn't put it much more simply. Now, how do we know more things and learn more things so we can avoid the dangers, maximize the opportunities? Here's number 1, learn from personal experience. So one way to learn to do it right, first do it wrong. So sometimes a negative experience now causes us to really make a sudden shift. Now here's the next way to learn, and that is to learn from other people's experiences. If you know a guy that's messed up his life for 40 years, you have to say, John, would you spend a day with me? Teach me how for the last 40 years you messed it all up. Learning from the negative side of someone's experience. And my mentor taught me to always keep a journal. Here's what he said: don't trust your memory. If a good idea comes your way, write it down, then ponder it, then perhaps go do it. Now, 3 ways now to learn from other people. Here's number 1, learn from what you see. If you just watch, you can pick up clues. Success leaves clues. Here's number 2. We learn so much from other people based on what we hear. Here's good advice on that. Be a selective listener. Now here's number 3. Read all the books. Read all the books you need to read to make you as wealthy as you want to be, as healthy as you want to be, as unique a human being as you want to be. Read all of those books. Read it all. Now jot this down. When you do read, you have to sort through what you read and decide which is valuable to try. Our lives are greatly affected by what we learn and what we know. Now here's number 2 of these very basic 5 things I want to share with you. Your attitude. We're affected by what we know, so get the information. Don't be lazy in learning. Next, we're affected by how we feel. Attitude. 4 things to consider on attitude and how you feel. Here's number 1. It's how you feel about the past. Past experience, even past losses, past failures, as well as successes. Don't live in the past, and don't carry the past around like a burden. Here's the second attitude. It's how you feel about the future. Now, where does the inspiration come from? Looking forward. Here it is, learning to set goals. Number 1, decide what you want. Take some time and decide what you want. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do the next 10 years, 20 years? How about the people you want to meet, the cities you want to visit? Start thinking about it. All of that. Here's the next key. Write it all down. What if you were laying bricks and somebody came by and said, what are you building here? And you said, I have no idea. So I'm asking you not to be casual anymore. Start designing the future. Okay, decide what you want. Put everything on your list of goals. Little things, insignificant to someone else, but important to you. Now, here's the next attitude. It's very important how you feel about everybody. Each of us need all of us. Now, here's the last one on attitude. It's how you feel about yourself. Nothing more powerful than self-confidence to start multiplying your income by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10. Doing the things you know you should do, and at the end of the day, your self-esteem is soaring and high. That is one of the greatest motivating factors for the future, feeling good about yourself. Number 3 is activity. Now we've gotten to the formula of how to turn ideas into reality. Activity is the labor. You might add labor pains. Why would an upcoming potential mother be willing to put herself through maybe a rather painful experience? And it's for your notes. It produces new life. And whether it's new career life or new business life or new married life, it has to come from the work. It comes from the labor. Go to work and build a better career. Go to work and build good health. You can have faith and believe until it is extraordinary, but now you must go to work. Now here's the final 2 pieces. Number 4, learn to measure progress. Life expects us to make measurable progress in reasonable time. We demanded of our children, how many years do you want your child to spend in 4th grade? Approximately. You can't linger in one grade more than 1 year. The same should go for us as adults. Now here's number 5 of the 5 major things I wanted to share with you. And here's the word, lifestyle. Learning to live well, because the ultimate essence of life is not a Ferrari. It's not $1 million. It's not a fortune. The ultimate essence of life is learning to live a good life. Jim Rohn short list for living the good life. Number 1, productivity. You really won't be that happy if you don't produce. To produce some to get by is all right, but why not try productivity to the max? Here's number 2, good friends. You got to have good friends. The best support system in the world is good friends. Here's number 3, your heritage. Keep your heritage alive. Here's number 4, your spirituality. Study, practice, and teach. It's one of the major components of a good life. And now to close, take special care of the inner circle. Nourish them, they will nourish you. Inspire them, they will inspire you. Thank you very much.